Welcome back to Season 3, Episode 3 of Tiger Talk. We're your hosts. I'm Miller.
I'm Carolyn.
And I'm Sophia. We are East students at John Tyson Elementary in Springdale, Arkansas.
As we mentioned in our first episode of this season, we will have something called a Tiger Trivia in every episode. Tiger Trivia is where we ask you a tricky trivia about tigers because tigers are our mascot.
So, here's Zane with today's Tiger Trivia.
Hi. Here's my trivia. What do tigers like to do in their free time? Ooh, that is a tricky one, Zane. What do you think the answer is, Sophia?
I think they like to dig in the dirt. What do you think, Miller?
I'll guess sleeping. What's your guess, Carolyn?
I think playing with one another. Stay tuned to hear the answer at the end of today's episode. Today, we will be interviewing the author of the book, Guide for Life, 5 Skills for Personal Success.
Mrs. Suzanne Jobe.
Welcome to our Tiger Talk, Miss Joe. Please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Susan Jobe, and I am a former classroom teacher. I taught high school English and speech and drama and journalism. And now I'm the former Guide for Life specialist at the department, and I'm now the assistant director of special projects at the Department of Education.
Interesting. Why did you write the Guide for Life, 5 Skills for Personal Success book?
Well, actually, I didn't write the book. The book was written by a group of school counselors and teachers and just all different kinds of people who were involved in education that saw that our students, even though they might be succeeding academically, that sometimes we needed help on skills such as self-management and growth mindset and having empathy for others. And so they wrote the Guide for Life. And when I came on board here at the Department of Education, I got the very fun job of being the ambassador for the Guide for Life. So I got to train teachers and share with students why it's so important for us to have these skills.
That's amazing. Why is your book important?
Well, the Guide for Life is important because we know that, just like I said before, if our students are successful academically, maybe they have the best grades in class and they do their homework all the time and they could be, they go on to college, but if they can't get along with others and they can't get to work on time and they can't solve conflict in productive and positive ways, then they're lacking some skills. So we just wanted to make sure that our students in Arkansas have these skills and all of the skills that they need to be successful when they leave the school and go into the workplace.
How long did it take to write the book?
I believe they worked on the Guide for Life for a couple of years and in conjunction with a national organization called CASEL and really worked hard to make sure the wording and each skill was age appropriate. So the Guide for Life is divided into 4 grade bands, K2, 3, 5, 6, 8, and 9, 12. And so the skills kind of build on each other and are very similar across the board, but they just get progressively, more in depth as you go through your school years.
Wow. What are the 5 skills for personal success?
The 5 skills for personal success, GUIDE is actually an acronym, and the G stands for growth, which is self-management. That's, how do we manage ourselves when things are tough? How do we deal with stress? That sort of thing. Understanding is self-awareness. That's a great place for growth mindset. Understanding, what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses. The I stands for interaction, and that's all about building positive relationships. The D stands for decisions, and we want students in Arkansas to be able to make good choices, and not only to make good choices, but to understand and to think about how their choices impact people around them. And then the last skill, the E, stands for empathy. And that's just, a willingness and an ability to be able to see things from other perspectives and to appreciate diversity and those that are different from us.
Nice.
What, in your opinion, is the most important of the 5 skills?
In my opinion, of course, I think they're all important, but I would say empathy, because to me, empathy is kind of a matter of the heart. It's about being kind and caring about others, even if you may not agree with their perspective or their opinion, just valuing other people and their experiences. And I think that that's so important, just as a human being, that we need to be kind to each other.
We are going to have an episode about each skill. If parents want to know more about the skills, where can we find a book?
Well, we have books available in print, but there is an easy way to access the Guide for Life on the website, the ADE website. If you go to the Office of Learning Services and the Guide for Life page, there's a PDF version of the Guide for Life there that anyone can download and access.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We are working with E students from Springdale High School to translate our podcast into Spanish. Is the guidebook offered in Spanish?
You know what? It actually is. We had the Guide for Life translated into Spanish probably about a year ago. And what we're currently working on here at the department is getting that version into a beautiful book. I don't know if you've ever seen the Guide for Life book, but it's very pretty. It's got awesome branding on it, and we want our Spanish version to look exactly like our English version. We think that language equity is very important, and so we're very excited to have that in the works right now.
Okay, great to know.
Thanks for joining us today.
We enjoyed talking with you.
You're so welcome. Thank you for having me.
The E students at our school have started a campaign to spread positivity. What is the best way you know to spread positivity? What is the best way you know to spread positivity?
The best way I know to spread positivity is just to, be positive yourself. I think that when you have a positive attitude, that just bleeds over into everything that you do and every interaction that you have. And, even when days are tough, I think that it's important that we think about all of the things that we have to be thankful for. And I really believe that when we focus on gratitude, even if we're having a bad day or going through a hard time, it might not change our situation, but it does change how we're feeling. And so I think that gratitude and being positive yourself is so important in spreading positivity.
Nice. I like that.
Okay, I bet you've been waiting for the tiger trivia answer. Remind us the question, Zane.
What do tigers like to do in their free time?
Do you have a guess, Miss Jobe?
I bet they like to eat a lot in their free time.
The answer is they like to swim and play in the water.
That was a real brain teaser.
I had no idea, Zane.
Since our school mascot is a tiger, we roar at the end of every episode. What do you think, Miller? Should we share our best roars with our listeners?
Of course. Roar. Let's hear yours, Carolyn.
Roar.
Amazing. Okay, Sophia, your turn.
Roar. Great job. Let's hear yours, Zane.
Roar.
What about you, Miss Jobe?
Roar!
That was great. All right, in our next episode, you will hear our school counselor, Mrs. Dudley, talk about the G in GUIDE, which stands for growth. She will talk to parents about ways to help their kids calm down in stressful situations.
We hope you have enjoyed this episode.
Thanks for joining us.
Tiger talk to you later.
Roar!